Hello, Jeremy here. Today I'm going to be talking about this Smile bootleg from 1983, first edition from Brother Records. And I'm getting rid of it. I'm packing it up in a box and I'm going to be taking it to the post office. Not today, it's Memorial Day and it's not open. I'll take it there tomorrow. But today I'm making a video about it. I didn't want to make a video about it, honestly, but because I needed to get it in the mail, I needed to make this video because I told the person I would put it in the mail. It's not interesting. But what is interesting is this album. Now, you probably have seen this before. You've listened to a rip of it on YouTube, or maybe you went on the Internet Archive and downloaded something for yourself. Shh, don't tell anybody. But this was really important once upon a time. This was the first time anything Smile had been put on vinyl, aside from some of those last tracks on some of those earlier studio albums. Now, some people might say, why? Why are you getting rid of this collector's item? The main reason is I don't listen to this. I listened to it once when I got it, and I just haven't listened to it since. Usually if I'm going to listen to Smile, I'll listen to the box set, or I'll put the double LP on, which I really like. A lot of people like to give old Mark Lynette a big razz these days for his weird, wacky mastering. But he did give us 2011 Smile, and he gave us Pet Sounds stereo, and he gave us Wild Honey stereo, and he gave us Smiley Smile stereo. And for those things, I am eternally grateful. We love you, Mark. I don't know where you are these days. We hear that you're not really with the Beach Boys anymore. If that's true, you had a great run. But yeah, I'll listen to that. I like the way that sounds, even though the track listing isn't exactly what I would want. There is no definitive Smile track listing, so that's probably as close as we can get to perfection. Now, if they come out with some weird stereo version of Smile in the next year, will I buy it? Probably. I probably will. My point being, I don't listen to this. I listen to that. I prefer to have things on my shelf that I actually use and listen to. That's why I collect records. But it is an interesting piece of history, and maybe you're wondering, well, what does this sound like? Again, you can go on YouTube and probably listen to somebody's rip of it, and it doesn't sound good. It doesn't sound good at all. There is a sort of, I suppose, magic to these early Smile tapes that were being passed around. And that's what this sounds like. It sounds like an old cassette tape from the 80s. And I think if I was around at that time when I was listening to all these different tapes, this would have some sort of nostalgic value to me. But I wasn't. I wasn't even born till 1985. So I definitely wasn't buying this in 1983. I didn't become a Beach Boys fan until the late 90s. And I didn't get really into them until about the time that the official box set came out. So really, what is this doing for me? Aside from maybe bragging to some of my friends. My friends don't care about the Beach Boys. They're tired of me talking about them, in fact. It's part of the reason why I'm doing this right now is because I have no one else to talk to about this stuff. I'll show you, for those who are interested. Here's the back. This probably looks familiar for anybody who owns the official box set. You've got some of the tracks on the back here. I don't know if the official version that was released, if they based the art on the back on this bootleg. If they did, that would be pretty cool. Although maybe this was some of the original art. I don't know. I also don't know the history of the lips. Does anybody know the history of the smiley face? The track listing on side 1 here is Good Vibrations, Barnyard, Do You Like Worms, Old Master Painter, Wonderful, Bicycle Rider, Can't Wait Too Long, interesting, Tones, Cabin Essence, and Our Prayer. On the other side, you have George Fell Into His French Horn, Heroes and Villains, Vegetables, Wind Chimes, Mrs. O'Leary's Cow, I Love to Say Dada, Holidays, Surf's Up, Child's the Father of the Man. Now, if I remember correctly, there is some weird Miles Davis track on here. You get this little insert as well, and it's nice. They tell you all about the different Smile tracks. There's probably a lot of incorrect information here, but that's kind of what makes it charming. On the bottom it says, the historic value of this material is not in dispute. The big question lies in its artistic merit, and that is extremely difficult to ascertain. The material is not in the context or time frame in which it had been meant to appear. We'll leave all subjective judgments to you, the listener. We only hope that when Brian gets his hands on this record, it won't drive him into his sandbox. I wonder if Brian ever actually heard this. Probably not. I know Mark Lynette was working on maybe some sort of release in the late 80s that never came to fruition, and I know that Brian was maybe in some of those conversations, but I don't think he ever heard this bootleg. It would be weird if he had, but maybe he did. We are very lucky to live in a time where almost all of the music from the sessions is available for us to listen to. It does make things like these bootlegs fairly obsolete, but maybe for some of you, you like the way some of these weird old muffled tape recordings sound, and you're into just having something on your shelf that you don't use but makes you happy. By all means, seek this out. They're out there. You can find them. But for me, it's time to say goodbye. I'm gonna go pack this up.